So I'm in Japan at the time. I know I said my last story, I said, yo, I'm gonna be in South Korea, but no, this one's gonna be back in Japan, right? I have more stories to tell in South Korea, but I'm waiting till my memory actually relapse and remember all of them. It's been a few years since I've been in Asia, so I kind of forgot. So I gotta wait till my memory relapse to be like, yo, this happened. I'm like, okay, now I can tell the story. That's how it usually works in the first place. So I'm in South Korea, right? And I said South Korea, yo, I'm smoking crack. I'm in Japan. I'm with my boy named Kaito. Now me and Kaito met because we in the same program. Not really. He in a more English program, and at the time I was learning Japanese, so they had him communicate with me in English, and I had to communicate him in Japanese. So it's kind of like vice versa. So we had a pretty strong connection. Me and Kaito, I was hanging out in his room, and then Kaito was telling me about this girl he really liked, and so I'm like, what's her name? Like, maybe I know her. The girl name was Yui, right? And Yui, everybody know her on campus. She's not like the popular girl, but inside the English department, everybody know who she was. Her English really good. She's really smart. She's really cute. And so I was like, yeah, Kaito, if you like her, I think you guys gonna be a good match. I'm not knowing for sure, but I don't want to discourage him. He's my boy. So I'm like, yeah, bro, y'all gonna be a good match. Y'all gonna have a good couple, whatever. He said, yo, how I'm gonna confess to her? And I thought about it. I'm like, bro, I don't know. I really don't know what to do. And so he said, how about we pop some fireworks? I'm like, fireworks? And like in the middle of July? I'm like, why are we popping fireworks? He said, we pop fireworks. Then, under the beautiful fireworks, I can give her a kiss. I'm like, yeah, that only works. There's fireworks in the sky already popping, right? And you guys just happen to look at each other, stargaze and then kiss each other, right? It's just like an anime or something. He said, oh yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I know. So he said, what should we do? And I thought about it for a little bit, right? Me and Kaito was in the room for about like an hour straight with the Jeopardy music in the background. I put that on, by the way, since you don't know what that's about. But I put the Jeopardy music on in the background. I was thinking about for about an hour straight. It was like, and so Kaito looked at me. He was like, yo, how about we go inside of a cave? I'm like, whoa. A cave. Now listen, my boy, a cave. I'm black. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. If we go inside of a cave, what, something happened? You know what I see? And he said, no. He said, nothing's gonna happen. He said, just trust me. I've been to this cave multiple times. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And when he said that to me, I don't know, it just sounds inspirational. So I just believed him. I said, F it, let's go to the cave. And so he said, look, I'm gonna call over Yui, but she gonna bring her sister named Ayaka. Now, Ayaka was still in high school. I'm like, bro, I don't wanna hang out in high school while you going all the way to the cave, bro. He said, no, don't worry about it. He said, Ayaka is gonna stay here, and then Yui's gonna go with me and you. I'm like, well, I'm third wheeling. He said, don't worry about it. And I'm like, all right, let's see what's gonna happen. So they called him over, right? And Yui and Ayaka was finally in Kaito's apartment. So we over here talking and stuff. We having a good time. Ayaka was like, yo, I want to go to the cave too. I'm like, yo, don't you got you're in high school and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. I don't want to go with you in the cave. It's awkward for me. And she was like, no, don't worry about it. She's like, I'm gonna be by myself anyway. I'm like, oh, sure, whatever. We all head towards the cave. And so we in the cave. Yui and Kaito go first inside the cave, right? And then Kaito was telling me, yo, it's gonna be like 5 minutes. Just wait for like 5 minutes, and then y'all can go. And I'm like, all right. And so Yui and Kaito went inside the cave first, and then I talked to Ayaka. I'm like, yo, Ayaka, you stay here, okay? You stay here. I don't want you, behind me and stuff. I don't want you getting hurt inside the cave and all that stuff. Y'all, you still in high school. You still a kid. So just stay here. And she was getting mad. She's like, yo, you don't tell me what to do and all this stuff. I'm like, hey, you go to the cave by yourself then. That's what I told her. I said, you go by yourself. If you all big and bad, you go by yourself. That's what I told her. She said, fine, I'll go. And so I could go walks inside the cave. And I wait another 5 minutes like a dummy. He told me, wait 5 minutes, not 10 minutes. And so I go and walk inside the cave right after. Now, mind you, I got my lights on my phone. Now, my phone flashlight is only at 10. Like, my phone itself is only at 10%. Cave is absolutely beautiful, right? The water is glistening like a glisten. The light was reflecting off the water, and so it was glistening. It was really pretty. Like I felt like I was in an anime. Like, it was gorgeous. Now, mind you, the cave itself had no light at all, and so I felt bad, for telling Ayaka just go out by herself. So I just called her name inside the cave. I'm like, yo, Ayaka. And so like the whole cave is echoing, right? It's like, yo, Ayaka. Like, you can hear that all throughout the cave. So I'm having fun. So I'm just saying random words in Japanese and English because I like hearing the echo stuff, right? I'm being a kid inside the cave, and so nobody responded. So I just keep walking towards the cave. So now my phone is at probably 3% at this time. I said, yo, I gotta go ahead and wrap this on up. I gotta get to this light that was at the end of the tunnel, because hey, if I don't make it, I'm kind of screwed, right? It's dark as hell in here, so I gotta hurry up and speed up. And so I start speed walking a little bit, right? And so I point my phone up and I'm trying to see what direction I go to. Now, he was right. Kaito was right. It's a straight shot. You really can't miss it. It's a straight shot. And so I kept walking straight. And so I see the shadow running towards me. Now, as a black guy, if I see something running towards me, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna turn around and start running too. So I turn around and I started blasting, right? And then my phone finally died. And so I said, and so I heard the back of it. They was like, I heard the word, wait. I kept hearing like, Jotomate. Now I didn't hear it at the time I was running, but my phone finally died. So I stopped because I couldn't see anymore. So I just heard what they said. And I was like, yo. I was like, who's this? Who are you? So I'm panicking or whatever. And so I didn't know who this person was. I mean, I didn't know who it was running towards me, but the light turned on. It was Ayaka. So Ayaka's like, yo, it's me. I'm like, calm down. I'm like, oh, Ayaka, you know, what's up? What's the move? Like, what's wrong? So I'm like, why are you running for? Why are you breathing so heavy? She said, yo, you guys see this light? It's absolutely beautiful. I'm like, yo, why are you talking about? She said, look, I'm gonna show you. And so Ayaka, she runs inside the cave. Mind you, now the cave is wet and dark. She runs inside the cave and she slips like a dummy. She slips like a dummy. I'm looking at her. I'm like, yo, you good? And so now her knee is bleeding because she fell inside the cave. And so I'm like, oh my God, Ayaka, are you good? I'm like, she said, yeah, my knee's bleeding though. I need help walking around the cave. I'm like, yo, I didn't want to help you out in the first place. You know what I mean? She was like kind of annoying. So I didn't want to help you out in the first place. I'm like, what? Just go somewhere. Just go. You know, why you didn't wait outside or wait in the apartment? I'm a little bit irritated at this point. So I'm like, all right, let me pick you up. So I pick her up. I give her a piggyback ride and I'm holding her phone. I'm looking around the cave. I'm like, yo, this night, I'm like, where the light you talking about? She says at the very end of the tunnel, just keep going. And so I'm like, yo, why are you screaming in my ear? You know what I mean? I'm getting angry. So I'm like, yo, chill out. Calm down, relax. And like, you hurt. I'm not. So I'm helping you out. So I'm holding on my back. I'm like, yo, she kind of heavy, bro. And like, because she wasn't a skinny Japanese person like everybody else. She had some weight on her, boy. She probably way more than me. To be honest with you, she's probably way more than me. And so I'm walking in the cave. I'm like, yo, I'm getting tired. Like, I gotta help you out. Like, you got a limp or something, baby. I just can't do this. So I drop her. I let her down and she just started limping, right? I'm holding her shoulder so she won't fall over and hit her head against one of the rocks because they was all sharp edges. So we have to be really careful. And so as I was holding her, she was hopping and stuff. I was holding her shoulder. And so she was like, yo, we almost there. And she was hyping me up. So I'm thinking just like a Final Fantasy, like final boss thing. I heard the Final Fantasy music in the background. I'm kind of hyping and stuff. I'm like, yo, we at the end of the tunnel. I'm getting my EXP points from exploring. I feel like a true person. I feel like a true man. And so as we arrive into the exit, it's this like beautiful white light and we start walking towards it. It's as we walk towards it, yo, and let me tell you, it was the most beautiful thing ever. It's like this really long path with this like central part, right? And then it was the waterfall going down on the right, I believe. And so the waterfall was going down, all the rocks and stuff was glistening. The water from the waterfall was bouncing off the cave, so onto the rocks. And so the rocks was looking really pretty and shiny. And then the moonlight, the night light was shining down on the cave. And so I was like, yo, this is lit. Like, it was absolutely beautiful. Like, you guys got to see it to believe. Like, the amount of gorgeous nature that was, it was absolutely beautiful at what nature can construct if we leave it alone. And so as we got there, we saw Yui and Kaito kissing. And so me and Ayaka, we was there clapping and stuff. We were like, yo, finally, right? Kaito got his dream girl, Yui got her dream guy. And so they looked up, they said, yo, when you guys get here? I'm like, yo, we got here, just moments ago. I'm like, yo, just keep kissing, just keep making out. I was hyped for Kaito. I was like, yo, bro, keep going. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. He said, yo, man, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you for third wheeling. I said, whoa. I didn't third wheel nothing. This was a solo mission. What you talking about? So I didn't third wheel nothing. And he started laughing, whatever. He said, yeah, bro, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say third wheeling. I'm like, yeah, get that right, brother. Get that right. I came here on my own accord. And so we all turned around. We all walked and left the cave, right? Later on, Ayaka, she went to the hospital, whatever, to get her knee checked out. And she was good in the end. And so now, Kaito and Yui still dating to this day. And I kind of feel happy about that because it's kind of thanks to me that they're to have a relationship. So, good Guy Kyoda.